we have a man who has had more wins by leg lock than any other professional fighter in the world. He's had over 80 professional fights. He is the ECI heavyweight champion of the world. Please give a warm applause to big Johnathan Ivey. Thank you so much, man, for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, and let's get right down to it, man. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about MMA, and you know, for those out there that don't know much about it, I mean, I know that they have some stuff on Spike TV. You see a lot of stuff, a lot of fighters on UFC. Tell me a little bit about MMA.
MMA is mixed martial arts. What it is a combination of boxing, Muay Thai, freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you took all that and put it in a blender, that's what would come out would be mixed martial arts. It's the closest thing to a real fight that we have.
All right, and how did MMA get started exactly?
In North America in '93, Rorion Gracie and got together with Art Davie and they created the UFC. And at that time, really what it was an infomercial for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu because they were coming over from Brazil and they wanted to spread their art in North America. And it worked. I mean, it really blew up.
Yeah, sounds pretty awesome. How did you get involved in it?
I was going to college to be a high school football coach. And doing some powerlifting, and I met a guy at a powerlifting meet. And it kind of fell in my lap. I met him on a Wednesday night. He showed me 2 moves that night. Friday night, I was driving to Indiana for my first pro fight. So I had 2 days of training for my first one.
All right. And I know you're from a little outside of Houston, Texas, right?
Just north, Cold Spring, Texas, home of the Fighting Trojans.
Whoa. And tell me a little bit about that, man. Just growing up, and you know, I mean, I guess the rest is history, but.
Yeah, well, we moved around a lot. My mother was a single mom. You know, I never met my father. But we moved around a lot, and we ended up in Cold Spring and settled down there, and moved up here to go to Bethel College in McKenzie, and then transferred to Austin Peay, and that's how I got to Clarksville.
That's awesome. And also, I know that you have a daughter. Tell me a little bit about being a family guy.
Well, I'm a single dad of a 4-year-old little girl, Savannah Josette, and pretty much everything I do is to take care of her and make sure she, you know, she's going to have it better than I did, and that's basically all I do. I fight, train, teach classes, take care of my daughter, go to the barber shop, get a haircut.
Also, I guess, you know, if you ever have a problem with letting out a little bit of aggression from being a dad, the ring's a good place to do it.
Good place to take out aggression. I got a girlfriend that's got 3 kids, so that magnifies the intensity a little bit.
I can only imagine. All right, and also, I know that you have a fight coming up February 16th against John Brown in Mobile, Alabama. Tell me a little bit about that.
In Mobile, they call him John Brown. In Clarksville here, we call him In Trouble.
Yes.
It's not going to be pretty on the 16th, and I hope he's got insurance, you know.
I hope he does too. And also, like just a little bit of your background, like name some of the other fighters that you've been in the ring with.
I fought a lot of guys that people may be familiar with. Jeremy Horn, UFC veteran, just fought last weekend in the UFC. Dan the Beast Severin, Justin Eilers, Andre the Chief Roberts, Travis Fulton. I fought probably 25 UFC vets.
Awesome. And also, I know that you just kind of got back into Clarksville not too long ago.
I moved back in about 2 years ago to Clarksville,
You'd mentioned that you're doing some training and some teaching of classes. Where are you doing that at, man?
I am at SSF Submission Academy right off College Street across from Austin Peay. And it's a beautiful facility. It's the best place that I've ever taught at. And I'm teaching classes every night, Monday through Friday. MMA, boxing, no-gi submission wrestling. I do my fight training in the morning. I'm in on the weekends. And the gym, the atmosphere at the gym. It's special, man. I've trained at a lot of gyms over the last 10 years. I've trained with a lot of people, and it's something special at SSF.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Now tell me about this new show that's coming out, MMA Contender.
It's going to be an MMA reality show.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Real World meets Fight Club.
Yeah.
And they're going to follow our fighters around and go to fighting events and see training and see how the fighters interact in their everyday lives. And I think filming starts in a couple weeks, man, so I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds awesome. Like it's going to be a great show, I'm sure. And just how do you become a fighter? Like, do you get sponsors, or like, I mean, how do you get paid to fight? I want to know.
you get paid to fight from the promoters, just like in boxing. Don King would pay so-and-so to fight Evander Holyfield. Same thing in this sport. Sponsors do help. And I'm back in Clarksville now, and if there's any local sponsors in Clarksville that wants the best thing around, you know, hit me up on at ssfgear.com or myspace.com/Johnathan Ivey.
All right, awesome, man. And I'm not one to toot my own horn, but I used to be a professional wrestler. You probably didn't know this, but where I'm going with this is just kind of tell you that, like, I kind of understand where you're coming from. You know, as another fighter, I can tell you that, you know, I kind of understand, like, a lot of the training that you got. I mean, I know that you can tell by looking at me that I'm a pretty tough-looking guy. Yeah, and don't be fooled by the Argyle sweatshirt, all right?
Right.
Like, under this is just a killing machine.
Yeah.
But I used to be a professional wrestler, so like I said, I kind of understand what you guys go through as fighters.
Do anybody besides 9-year-old kids watch professional wrestling?
What are you talking about, man? Like, everybody watches professional wrestling.
Do they?
Awesome.
Do they really?
Yes. I mean, you got to respect us as fighters. Do you not respect us?
As fighters, no. As actors, yes. You guys are good actors.
Man, kidding me? All right. After the break, we're going to be back here with John Ivey, and I'm going to tell him about this crazy dream that I had. Stay tuned.